Thank you. Can I start?
Of course, I wanted to introduce you, but you can introduce yourself.
I can introduce myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Altuğ.
Thank you. Hello. Kalimera. That's all I know from one day. I came from Turkey for this presentation. And I'm talking about a little bit gamification. I cannot see you, by the way. Is there any way to little bit close the lights for a temporary? Because I want to make a little game. That's better. That's enough. I can see you. My name is Altuğ, and I'm an academician and writer and publisher and author, and I live in Istanbul. And it's a great honor. It's my first time in here, and I graduated from the Yıldız Technical University, focused on the game design, and I'm going to talk a little bit gamification. It's a little bit different, and I have a couple of slides for you, but let me first, the Algor names. Algor, he played games a lot. It's very interesting, but he says the games are the new norm. It's all about the world at the moment, and the gamification is a journey of mine. It started with this book. I wrote a Turkish book about that. It's called Oyunlaştırma, and I work with some guys, include Vasilis from Greece and other experts. So it was my journey, and I'm still doing lots of talking about gamification because it's a new discipline for the human behavior with the game design. I'm going to give some example for that. And the Vasilis, this is the, I'm representing this talking from GamFed. GamFed means that Gamification Federation. And Vasilis is here. Can you raise your hands? Okay, Vasilis is there. And the GamFed founder, Niels, luckily, I was working in Turkcell. Turkcell is a leading GSM operator in Turkey for 5 years. I was doing lots of education technology stuff, and we were working with Niels, and he's the founder of GamFed. GamFed is a gamification federation for all world. And that was my daughter. It's a very good combination of that's the reason why I'm here, actually, because we are all doing lots of friendship with that. And it's a great honor to be in our founder of the modern Turkey, Atatürk. And maybe you heard his famous word, peace at home, peace at the world, after the big war between the other countries. That's very important for all over the world at the moment too, because we are always think that it's a peace, one of the most important thing until you lose it, you know. So let's play a game, like I told you, and I really want to make a gamify of the beginning of the session. Have you ever heard a game called Yes No Po? It's a very kindergarten, children games, but it's very worked with the adults too. So I will have a question, 5 questions for you, and if you think that if it's yes, you have to raise your hand, like this. Let's try. Yeah. Okay. If you think it's wrong, you will go through, cross your hands like this. Let's try. Okay. And if you think there is no idea about that, you will just sit down and take a look around. This means that Po. Okay. First question. The Conference of Republica, firstly organized at Berlin. Is it yes, no, Po? Let me see the hands. Okay. That's good. It's yes. Second one. Republica Conference happened also Dublin too. Yes, no, Po? Is it? Someone said no? Okay. It's yes, I think. Okay. Is Thessaloniki the capital city of Greece? Yes, no, Po? I think it was easy, right? Okay, it's nice. Athens. What about Istanbul? Istanbul is the capital city of Turkey. Yes, no, Po? It has to be yes, man. Which is that? No, Ankara. Ankara is the capital city. That's good. Last question. Does Turkey has a border? Yes, no, Po? That was a hard question, huh? Yes, of course it has a border. I just passed it. Thank you. That was a play. That was a good play for the. You can do whatever you like, and we have lots of digital tools like that. I will show you. And some kind of this conference. There's a game designer called Jane McGonigal, and they ask her. Probably you will ask a question for me too, like this. What about the opposite of the play? If we are not play, what happened to us? You know, if there's no play in the job, if there's no play in the school, what happened? What happened, you think? She answered, it will be depression. It's not a opposite of the working. If we are working, it means that we are not playing. It's not a good thing. So it means that if you look to the history, there's this knuckle bones. Also the Thessaloniki is my second day in there, and like Istanbul, we got very huge cultural cities. You are just hanging around and you are seeing lots of bones and stuff, but they're all play. These are very cultural things which focus on the play, and while we are playing, we keep away from depression. That's the important thing, and we try to do this in the digital era. If you think that the play or games for kids, you are probably wrong. The investors doing lots of research about that, and the average game player is at the moment 35. It means that if the kid with the age 15 if it's played, for example, 4 hours, it means that a man with the age of 50, he plays more than that. It's not for kids anymore. We are playing games lots, and it's very important. But what about the play we did, games we saw, but what about the gamification? That's the main point of this session. Gamification is not making games. It's actually create a game thinking in the real life. I will show the example of that. We got some game elements. We will show you about that. It could be just only think like points. If you can able to catch up a session, for example, in the Republica, you will earn 10 points, kind of. You have to think like the real life, but add a layer on top. There's a with game mechanics. It's too complex, but it's like if we can able to show you with the real example like this. I'm always using these slides. Do you know this game at the left? Farmville, yeah, it's a very famous, but it's a game. It's happening in the game. It's not a real life happening. Also here is a real farmer. That's the reason why I'm using that. If you add this game mechanics to farmer, this is the game. This is the gamification, like employee of the month, like a challenge yourself, comparing it to last week. You are doing good, Altuğ, let's do this more if I was a farmer. This is going to be a gamification. You know, you use these game elements to the real life, and if we can track from a board, from an app, whatever the channel, it becomes like a gamification. Think about the swarm with purpose. You know, you have to consume something, you have to build something, you have to do some coding, whatever, and you see yourself with the others. This kind of thing, we call it gamification. It's not a new thing, actually, using game elements in the real life. Maybe you saw this example. Anyone sees this piano stairs? Yeah, it's very famous. It was happened in 2012, I think, in Copenhagen. But it's the beginning of the gamification. We can say that there's a piano stairs there. People prefer to use that because it makes noise. Also, this is the traffic light. There's a game on that while you are waiting. It's not a games area there. It's not a station there. You are just, while you are waiting, you are playing. It's very necessary if someone try to cross to other side while it's red. And there is a raisin man. I love this example for kids from US. If you help old people, they are given a t-shirt for first time, for a white t-shirt. For 10 times, it becomes blue, red. This is going. And else, at least you will have a black t-shirt after the 100 times. And every year, can you able to hold this black shirt, you earn stars on that. What becomes? It's a military, right? So kids are loving that, and they like to do this with this kind of t-shirts and taking selfies, and these are very status and levels we like to use. So it used to be one of my friends from also GameFed, Roman Rakowitz. Gamification is just a name it in the 2012 with the Gabe Zickerman, but it used to call motivational design because we try to create a motivation with the people, with like it's a game, while they are not doing things. If it's in the game, they will do. But at the moment, with IoT, with AI, this kind of technologies is supporting games, and we work with the Dr. Michael Wu. He's working for Lithium company, and he's a gamification spectrum as a model. He called them as a behavioral engineering. Behavior is a very important things to do for people, and we make it with the engineering. Let me show the behavior engineering examples. Have you ever tried this toilet calendar? Anyone try? No? Anyone heard about it? When you have a kid, they have a problem, you know, while at the night. Sometimes they forget to make their pee, whatever we call, you know. If you put the rainy, it means that she or he, you know, can't able to success. Okay, if he or her can able to go to toilet, you are putting a sum on that, and it's very useful. It works, you know. It's almost every parent try to do this kind of thing because this is the feedback actually. So it works for kids. What about the adults? Yeah, of course. Apple Watch activity using this calendar too. If you can able to reach your steps, they can give you a ring, for example, for every day. And Duolingo, maybe you heard, he's making a calendar with the progress bar. You are following it, and you can follow that too. It's a huge feedback, like you are going to level 3 with this panel. This is the progress, and you can track yourself. It's not a game. These are not games. You cannot play it, but they are gamify of sports, gamify of learning. Duolingo is a educational application, a focus on the English learning, English teaching, and the other language. You have to check it out, but they are doing lots of this kind of thing in the routine. So every gamify project needs some loops, and there is always we have to do something to make it habit. If you want to earn a habit, you have to do this more than 20 times, for example. And they called it habit loop because it's all psychological things. For example, if you have a teeth, you are brush it, it's a routine, and the shiny teeth going to be your reward. Okay, reward things is very important in games or gamification because we are not given a physical reward. We are given a social reward, we call it. What is a social reward means? It means that a status. I will show you the reward means with the core game loop. There's some behaviors we expected. They are doing these behaviors, then we will give them a reward. And reward means that not physically, not a stuff. We don't like stuff. You can't see any games that give as a present as a stuff. They give you a power. This is the Gabe Zickerman gamification experts Gabe Zickerman's model. If you play a game or gamification, you will earn a status, has a power with the others, for example. You can check his list, you can check his homework, this kind of thing. And also the access. Access means that, you know, like a lounge at the airport, you know, normal user is not allowed to go there, but there's something very important things. The game system allow you to go there, and you feel very special on there. We call it status. That's the reason why every gamify project has some status. If you think that status is only for games, you are wrong, because all life is all about status. And all actually military system, traffic system, sports and business areas and also schools has a status and level system. You cannot allow to enter some officers' room. You cannot allow to enter the safety zone of traffic, right? You cannot allow to enter some lieutenant room, this kind of thing. That's the way our brain works, separating people, levels, and the status. And if you like to be, you have to do this behavior. If you think that status are not for you, actually humans love status. Let me show you a short video about that.
Few things make us act irrationally more than the need to feel important. And that built-in desire can be exposed with the cheapest of props.
This is the VIP bus stop experience.
VIP bus stop experience.
Yes. For an extra $2, you can sit in the VIP section. If you guys want to pay $2 each. $6.
Dude, what are you doing?
People crave status almost as much as they crave money.
$2, $2. Got it.
The more we have status, the more we have approval. Status is a way of achieving approval without actually having to ask for it.
Got it. I need you guys to come right through here, please.
The VIP.
Enjoy your seat. Relax.
There is obviously no difference in the experience, but people will pay to think that they got something that other people can't.
You guys feel like VIPs?
Yeah, it's special. Yeah. It's really, you know, like, this is a great idea.
These guys are in the VIP section, but they're squashed. I mean, they're literally like sandwiched together, but they don't even seem to care because they're in the VIP section. And what that tells me is they were gonna get some self-esteem out of the fact of just being in that section.
Well, I hope the bus comes.
You don't work for the treasury.
No.
But you're charging us to sit on a public bench?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's a parody, actually. There are lots of versions of that. If you search VIP experience, bus experience, pool experience, they are separating pool, for example. People pay to go there. So, yeah, I mean that do not do this like meaningless, you know. We are trying to be with the mean. For example, Swarm has a mayor. We got mayor in here, by the way. Yeah, Swarm has a digital mayor. And this is my daughter. And if you are able to be checking more than anything else, anywhere else, you have a crown and you can delete other ones, photos, comments, this kind of power you have, you know, in the Swarm. And also Twitter has some badges like a verified profile. This is one of the most popular comedian from Turkey. He got verified profile. He got more than 12 million followers, and he tweets not too much, but he got a power of, you know, he has got verified profile, lots of followers. It's status. The social media do that with the badges, numbers. These are game mechanics actually, and they are using this. Let me give you an example of real life. For example, Starbucks has an application, and it has got levels like when you enter the system, you have welcome level. Welcome level hasn't got anything, only free drinks at your free birthday, you know. It's only just one thing. If you can able to earn 5 stars, it becomes green level, and you can have extra shot kind of things. But if you can reach the 30 stars gold level, whatever you call it, you became a gold level person, personalized gold card. You can put a photo on it, and you can drink free at every 15 stars. And they just add Apple AR kit to, you can get another free one if you can measure that. And every time, if you are gold level, they give you a little game package. You open it and you are earning some stickers. And if you can collect the stickers, you will have a physical present from the Starbucks, like a mug or whatever you call. But only the VIP part. And also you can share your stars with the others, but the only gold one. Yeah, this kind of things we are talking about. You can see the map and who is the gold level, and you can share, or map of cheer. You can make a cheer with them. This is the gamify of actually selling coffee. Yeah, 10 minutes left. Okay. So until now, I'm just showing that the gamification is not about game design or technology. The Gabe Zuckerman is the name of it, and he says this is mostly a psychology. You have to know your target, and you have to know your players. We got players, and has different types. Not everyone has one status. Some of them, they just want rewards. They just love presents. It's okay. Maybe you can remember, I love this cartoon. That's the reason why I'm showing this in Turkey for player types. Maybe you can remember the Ninja Turtles. Leonardo was always try to be like a Splinter, try to help him. He needs a status. But the Michelangelo is all care about pizza, right? All about his eating pizza, making pizza, celebration for the pizza. We call it the Michelangelo is extrinsic, but the Leonardo is intrinsic. Leonardo needs some mastery, some belonging, some represent the team kind of rewards. But Michelangelo is all about just money, you call it, whatever you call. This is the motivational types, and games are always trying to take you from extrinsic to intrinsic. If you can create this journey, which is very important for us, it will be very powerful journey to extrinsic to intrinsic. Let me show some player types first here, and we got a little video about that. Yeah, like I told you, the extrinsic to intrinsic, there is a journey about that. It's not a destination, and we call it a game flow. It has to be not too hard. It's not to be not easy. Otherwise, they will run out to flow area. And sometimes it seems it's easy, but sometimes it's hard. And every journey has some bad moments too. We call it some bad gamification. Mean black hat one. For example, you cannot give a positive feedback every time. You have to give some black hat gamification mechanic. Like this is the last 3-1. If you don't do this, you will lose your status. Kind of, we are pushing the people. That's the main and tricky part of gamification. Actually, the black hat one. I can give an example, and you can also give this example. This is the Oracle smartphone Gamify dashboard. They are giving your bill, but they are giving also the efficient one, and you can compare with them. This is the, you are going bad. This is something bad about your home. You have to check your things. This is the comparing and giving a feedback for that. And also you can use lots of positive feedback too, like a green card. Maybe you heard about it, and lots of England, I think, and Portugal started to using green card for the football pitch. So you are a referee of your players, and you have to not only punish people, you have to give some positive feedback with the green card, and it works. You can imagine that the fair play is going to be up very low. And we call it in the gamification the player journey. At the beginning, it has to be very basic task. It's onboarding while he's trying to do something. It has to be some, even games, putting something inside of very easy part, and you can take it very quite easily. And after the mastery, it means that he or she can able to help the others. That's the loop. That's the reason why is World of Warcraft play more than 10 years. They play it, finish it, and they return to help the others. And help mean it could be positive way, and also the negative way. They can easily eliminate the others because they have power. That's the reason how the games are so addictive, and we can use in our design. Let me give some, at my less than 5 minutes, examples. And this is a very important example I have from work area. Like I started with Jane, and Jane says the future of work is all about will be game. Let me show some work example, work gamify example. This is, for example, the energy company from Germany did this gamify app called Energy Waste. You are a vampire hunter, and these plugs are vampires. You have to find the open lights, find the plug. You have to unplug and earn points. And there's a leaderboard on that. And how much kilowatt energy saved, they will put it to your salary. This is kind of a gamified app. It's like a games, it's like points, but it's sort of physical reward. It's like a Pokemon Go game for energy saving. Okay. Let me show another example from Uber. Probably you rate the drivers with the stars. They have some badges, which is okay. You know, it's a gamification too. But the main part is very important. The driver's side, if they can earn good 3 stars, they started to Uber show him some positive feedback, like a green card, you know, higher chance of trips in Manhattan area. They are not showing this to everyone, only the 5 stars guys. That means that I am with you because you are with me. So you can have more 5 stars, I can give you this positive feedback and also the other good benefits, like a fuel card and stuff. Uber doing this for the driver's side. This is the progress bar. This is the extra feedback part. This is a Turkish company called Doge doing this project. We help them. These are badges for the trainings, and they have a map to conquer. If you conquer the map is fill up, and if they can complete trainings and everything task we gave them, they level up and they complete the task. And if they conquer this island, they can go to this island. That's all. This is very easy to do something like that. Let me show you about a little bit ability too, because it's very complicated, but also the very easy thing. And from Stanford University, BJ Fogg says everyone can be motivated to do something, but it has to be easy too. So for my last slide, it's all about going to be ability. That was my last slide was about motivation actually. Let me show about ability in this example. Maybe you saw this left side Apple example. It was just for compass to some navigate, you know. If you are using an app with the navigation, you have to do this before it. But most of it, more than 50% of people, they thought it's an error and they cannot able to do that. But if you put a red ball on that, it's increasing very dramatically, because most of the 80% people can able to drag the red ball with this thing. Right now, it's standard. They move this. Normally, this is the standard. This is the extra. Right now, this is the standard. Because we are able to play very easily. If you order us, like a military, like this, we are not able to do that. But if we think that we are playing, we love it and we can be more of it. So ability is always confused with the addiction, because addiction is, if it's portable and it's easy, it becomes a little bit addiction. These are mobile things that we addict actually, and digital tools are knowing that very beautifully. And let me show this example. I will skip this thing. This is a very interesting story from US. There's a guy called Ian Bugust, and he says, you know, he's very angry about Farmville success, and he say, I will do this social experience, and I will give you a code, and you can click this code every 6 hours. If you want to click twice, you have to pay. What happened, you think? It happened in 2012. Can you remember, or anyone remember that game? Click the code. Code Clicker is a Facebook game and became a success, massive success. And even Bogus is just trying to show how stupid the Farmville, but it became more successful from Farmville. Because we very love this kind of addiction on playing. It's very, very gray area. And he support actually, for example, created some codes. For example, the beginning of that, normally it's just turn left. When I'm going to turn right, you have to pay another money, for example. And end of the day, there are some steel cove and family cove and just one day cove, oil, be British Petrols, oil leak happened, and that was the only day you can earn this cove, for example. And this is a very private one. You have to, his daughter drawn this, and he put this app too. So people got mad about that, because it's so personal, so one day event, so different from others, looking the other side. It's so stupid, by the way, but it so works, you know. That's how dangerous is gamification too, because even you design this kind of basic things, people get mad, and yeah, there are lots of versions of this application. Let me show the Ian Bugust his works. I have made of all of these people click on codes. I have wasted my own time and my family's time. He's very surprised about how this addiction works, and his career right now, like this conference, his career is the normal academician. His career is knowing with the code clicker. It's very funny. He has got more than 3 or 4 books, but he's very famous with the things that. When you gamify, it's very easy to create an addiction. And let me show 2 examples. There are lots of applications going to be use these kind of sounds. If you check in with the swarm, you can use these words. You can use these sounds and this kind of thing. Imagine that Twitter used that. For example, Twitter, I think last month, update this feature. Anyone see that? Yeah, this is a new feature, right? So, imagine the swarm sound system and this automatically updated digit system. And also, though, if you can't able to check the Twitter, they say, you know, in case you miss it, there's your good friend tweet about this. You can see that. Imagine the tweet, the most important one, going up with the sounds. You know, it's create an addiction about you. You know, you have to be check it. You know, it's going up, and it's going to be make sounds. Yeah, it's very attention creator, right? Then that will become this. Let me show you. Same thing. There's a Turkish company create this feature in their game. They call it quiz game, gamified question solving tool. They, you know, it's a corporate tool. You can add your question and you can open this to the other people. And I'm doing consultancy of this company, and more than 2 million people in Turkey play this game at the moment for corporate purpose. You can add, for example, a question like I did yes, no, po, you know, for digital one. This is the, for example, KFC's question. You have to answer it correctly. There's a leaderboard, but there's a quarantina mechanic. It's very interesting. What is the quarantina mechanic? If you answer wrongly, the question going up to quarantina. It's a game mechanics, actually. Lots of games are using that, like zombie games using that. If this question go to the quarantina, its points going up. For example, 10 people answer wrong, it means that it's normally 10 points, it becomes 100 points. So what is creating that? It's people make addicted to check the quarantina, because it's always going up. It's always going up. This is the gamify of knowledge. People checking the quarantina, take this tab, take this gum, and there's a reward on that, and seeing the other things. Let me see another example. This is going to be my last example from Snapchat. Everyone using Snapchat here? Anyone? No? Okay. Snapchat has a feature, Snaptrack. That's very important because the founder of Snapchat, I talked with him on phone. He's a student of BJ Fogg from Stanford University. I told you about ability. He's a student of him. And he created this in a workshop of his lesson last summer. Snaptrack mean, you know, I snap to Vasilis, he snapped to me back. We have a one day, Snaptrack. Okay, it's a game mechanics. So this is the 110 days we snap each other, for example. They call it Snaptrack. This is the fire logo. It's very basic, right? It's very basic. But what happened? Everyone tried to do not lose their track. Then they have to use Snapchat. If Vasilis going to send me, I have to send him. Then we can keep these numbers. This is the addiction. This created an addiction. Even the kids are going to holiday without internet. They share their password with his friend to do not lose this Snaptrack. Okay? This is how change their behavior for the nothing, actually. It's not meanness. But we can use it with my student in Bahçe University. We think about how we can think this Snaptrack for a good reason. As you can see, Snaptracks after the 400 days, it means that year, it increased 7%. 7% of usage or user of Snapstracks is more than snap each other 1 year. What about using this mechanic to, for example, not Snapstrack, but homework track? Using this in the classroom, using in this field area. You can check that, right? And if you don't make your homework for 1 day, you lose 100 days. This kind of mechanic, we call it. So, if you like to create an addiction like for good reason, not for social media or for a clicking clove, it works, by the way, but you have to take care of ability. You have to make it tiny, small, like I'm giving this example in a minute. You have to reward these behaviors. You have to give a reward, but not physical reward, social reward. You have the social mayor status. You have to do this every week, for example. You have to do your homework. And you can create this status and giving a positive and feedback in the flow. You can create addiction with that. Not be only one behavior, add addiction. If you can create an addiction, if the player doesn't do this behavior, they feel uncomfortable. You know, I have to do Snapstrack. I have to do Snapstrack. Let me give a challenge for you. This is the app called Checky. And right after, do you ever think that how many times a day do you check your phone? How many people count their steps in here in the room? Steps daily. Just 2. How many? How many? It's good. So when I was started to do that, I was 6,000, I think. Right now, my daily base 10,000 because I'm checking it and I put some target for me and it's giving a feedback around 10 around. And yesterday, for example, I went out walking around and 10,000, then I can sleep. This is a good addiction. So this is a free app, Checky. I challenge you, if you have an addiction for the phone, you have to check your phone less than 50. Please download it, check your phone counts, and challenge yourself. Gamification is all about challenge yourself. Challenge yourself like yesterday, last week, and your friends. Okay, this is the good for behavior. That was all my slides, and I came from Istanbul to make this presentation. I have a couple questions, maybe. Time? No? No. I will be here, and you can ask me questions. My Gmail and Twitter is there, and I came for the name of the GameFed, and thanks for inviting. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Altuğ. That was really interesting. So we will have now